What's up, YouTube? It's the Morris Trucker, demonstrating love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Boy, I just woke up. It is 4:43. We are in Lyman, Colorado. I gotta head to Denver for a Coca-Cola load. It's crazy, man. You can wake up in the middle of the day and it's just like bright in the morning and shit. Trans Am. I'm not quite at my 120 day. I think I'm 2 weeks off. But I want to post this video. There's a few things that I'm understanding about Trans Am, right? The company, as long as you running, you good. The minute you stop running for breakdown, or if you have to take your reefer to a Thermo King, you start trying to have issues. The biggest issues with Trans Am is once you need them to do something for you, it becomes a juggling act. You know what I'm saying? If you call road assist, they're going to tell you to call your driving manager. If you call driving manager because I'm leasing, they're going to tell you to call one leasing. One leasing going to tell you to get with your driving manager. Driving manager tell you to get with settlements. Settlements tell you they don't do nothing but calculate. You see what I'm saying? It's a runaround when you need something done. And I noticed something because they have call ID. They know exactly who's calling, right? So if they know there's an issue, it takes forever to get through to anybody. But if it ain't no issue, you just pop up something in your head like, I wanted to know about the fuel solution. Because as I was coming through Oklahoma, I saw a little off-brand truck stops for $1.84 for diesel, where Loves and Pilot and Ambest and you know, they got the Shell, the Phillips 66 and the Sunocos. You know what I'm saying? They all at like $2.19 or something. And another thing I realized was the further north you go, like Pennsylvania and shit, like, man, fuel like $2.80. But if you come like down toward Texas, going through Oklahoma or Kansas or something like that, it's much cheaper. So for the fuel solution, I'm like, okay, we paying $3 a week for the fuel solution, and we're really getting a deal. And this is something they don't tell you at orientation, things that are not in the paperwork. At some point, you may be paying $1.60 for fuel or something. Because a lot of times I'd be skipping the fuel solution because I would look at the sticker price on Pilot, which is who they mostly deal with. But I try to go Pilot, one fill up, Loves a second fill up. That way I get benefits through either truck stop, and it doesn't matter which truck stop I stop at. You know what I'm saying? By the end of the month, I got, you know, benefits going into the next month. So for the pilots, is who they usually deal with. We just now finding out, me and another driver that I kick it with that went through my orientation with me, is they do, the company gets a different discount that's on the posted. Nobody explained this to me, or I'd have been dealing with the fuel solution out the gate, because fuel is going to be your biggest expense out here, man. You're going to run through $800,000 worth of fuel. And if you leasing, that's money out your pocket. But this is my problem with Trans Am. They don't explain these things to you. We learning all this shit on the fly as we go. Once you into a situation or something that you come up with that you want a question to, you draw, then you get slow-balled answers. You know what I'm saying? So call the driving manager, they didn't know. Told me to get a hold of one lease, and one lease and put me on hold with somebody else who does the fuel solutions. You know, that was a runaround. But we do get a better discount by following the fuel solution. When you put in your tractor fuel, it'll send you automatically, it's a computer generated, it'll automatically tell you where's the nearest place to go and how much fuel to get. And a lot of times that's bad. Like, I had just put in a fuel solution yesterday before I got here, and I'm only 50 miles away from the receiver, and it told me to get 77 gallons. This is on Wednesday. Pay go in on Thursday, so I'm trying to limit the amount of fuel so I can have a bigger paycheck. I wait till today, like Friday, and fill up. So I didn't get no 77 gallons. I got 18 gallons. That's enough to get me to the shipper, get a new load, and then calculate how much fuel I need to get there. So with Trans Am, that's why I say I don't make decisions when I'm upset. I like to calm down and basically look at things I'm gonna probably end up finishing this 6 months out because, like I say, you leave money on the table. You got escrows, they give you back 3 cents a mile, you know what I mean, as an incentive to complete the lease, and only got 3 months. But with Trans Am, if you come in here, the biggest thing you need to understand is there is no right away solution to your problem at all. They're gonna bullshit you and bullshit you. Like, took me weeks and weeks to go through my breakdown, and they did give me my breakdown pay. Then another thing that scarred me about the breakdown pay was this. I was in breakdown for 8 days, really 10, but you have to be in breakdown 24 hours before they start paying. So I was in there 8 days. So I look on my settlement, and this is after weeks of going back and forth. They only paid for 7 days. So I'm like, oh shit, here we go. So I call them, let them know, like, hey man, I see y'all paid me for 7 days of breakdown, but y'all owe me 8. She didn't argue with me, said okay. Within minutes, that little $107 was on my account. Come on, man, you mean tell me you didn't know this prior to me calling? If you don't say nothing, they won't say nothing. They'll bullshit you with somebody's gonna call you back and hope you don't keep calling, because they're not gonna call you back when you got an issue. But like I say, when they have an issue, your Garmin will send you red messages. They've locked my fuel card for not responding to my Garmin. You know what I'm saying? Like, they will or they will hold up your loads. So you can't go get no more money until you do whatever it is that they need you to do. But when you need them to do something, everybody's going to, let me turn this AC on. Everybody's going to demonstrate they don't know nothing about that. They're going to have somebody that do know call you back. And like I say, for me, that's an issue because that doesn't happen. But with Trans Am, I'm really, and it's a learning experience because I'm pretty sure they're not the only ones out here doing it for first-time truckers. When you coming straight out of school, you have to be able to learn to move and shake. I understand why guys be turning in their trucks, but for me, it wasn't a fast move option because, like I say, I'm leasing, so there's more on the table that I'm walking away from than just a week pay. You know, miles I done already ran that I'm supposed to be paid for, my escrow being taken out of my settlements every month that comes back to me at the end of the lease, and things like that. So got what, Eddie or something right there. But you know, all in all, if you run it, you can get the miles. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they bullshit you on miles. Texas, oh Lord, if you come, I don't care what trucking company you work for, man. Don't go to Texas, man. Too hard to get out of there. Texas is a big state, so it's really hard to get the miles coming straight out of there. And then I sat at the truck stop with truckers, and everybody's waiting on loads. Texas is a dead spot. If you get a load going to Texas, go ahead and deny it if you're not a company driver, if you're a lease driver. Or if it's beneficial and you think that the reason I took the load to Texas was because it's the end of the month. And if you run for the full month, you get a $500 bonus. So imagine I got a 800-mile run and had to sit on it for 5 days. You draw? 4 days. Because the day before I had 500 miles left over out of my last week. So that, and then they turned around, they turned around and gave me a 1,000-mile run. Boy, I ran that sucker like 40 going north between 12 o'clock midnight yesterday. I ran all 1,000 of those miles in a day and a half. You feel me? You know, because I had to. 700 miles for 1 week, and I got a lease payment. So they did get me on up out of there, you know what I'm saying? But when you sitting there, that's one thing, as a new trucker, you have to really gauge when you're taking these loads, is how many days you have to sit on them. Because I done turned down loads because they 371 miles, but they don't pick up till tomorrow and don't drop off to the day after. That's 3 days. You can run 371 miles in 1 day. So if it's not pick up today, drop off tomorrow, I wouldn't take them. And it can't be too late tomorrow. It has to be bright and early. You know what I mean? So you're going to learn how these different lanes run. You know what I'm saying? And as a lease driver, I would think the only thing would be better is if we were allowed, like KLLM, to pick our loads versus having a planner and your dispatch singular loads. You know what I mean? Because some of this be some bullshit. And my thing is, another thing you're gonna learn with Trans Am, because I done had him hang up on me. My guy say he done had him hang up on him. Is they get offended when you get mad. Listen, ain't nobody playing with your money. Your money good. I'm out here running. I'm making the shippers money. I'm making the receivers money. I'm making Trans Am money. I'm making Lease One money. I'm making the fuel stops money. And I'm doing all the riding, and I ain't getting no money. You know what I'm saying? They act like they shocked and amazed that you mad. And then all of a sudden they get offended. What? I'm telling you I have a problem. And you telling me there's no way for you to solve that problem. That's my biggest issue with Trans Am. And one of the main reasons I'm not going to re-sign another 6 months to get my full year out of them. Unless, and one thing else I did find out too, was One Leasing owns the trucks. So you can sign a 5-year deal with One Leasing for a brand new truck, have like a $28,000 buy down at the end of the truck, and then they give you so many incentives that at the end of the lease your incentives would essentially pay for the truck. And for me, at my age, that was my main reason for going leasing, to chase the money. But at the end of this, that's a retirement plan if I could walk away with the truck. If you try to go through Trans Am, you're not. So Lease One got about 30 different companies that you have to be approved to run for before they'll give you that lease. So I don't necessarily have to run for Trans Am. My thing is, the devil you know is far better than the devil you don't know. That's why I said for me, like, in the haste, I call KLLM, like, hey, what's happening? Dude, like, hey, man, if you ain't got your 90 days in, you're going to have to go on the truck with a trainer for 6 weeks. You're going to have to go through the new training. So my attitude then was, oh, hell no, I might as well suffer, because it don't make sense to keep being a new driver going to other new companies, because all the companies that seem like they had a better pay, the better benefits, the better respect, going to require at least a year. Minimum 6 months. KLLM said 3 months. See what I'm saying? But I'm assuming it's going to be the same kind of problems there. So with Trans Am, I'm learning the important questions to ask the recruiters. Questions and things that I actually need in writing prior, because I'm learning that it ain't all glitters that gold. You feel me? It's a long process. When you under your first year, just about all these companies gonna kick you in your ass, as long as you're running the miles. So, but if I could cut a better deal as far as price, because once you get on One Leasing, you basically really own the truck at that point, and you're making your payments toward that, versus now with Trans Am, I can never buy the truck because it has to be in service for 5 years, and then they want 58 grand at a buyout. Trucks only cost 100 grand, so why would I pay half the price after 5 years? You know what I'm saying? 28, and then knowing that wouldn't come out my pocket, that I'm earning that money while I'm running for those 5 years, makes a lot more sense to me. But unless we can renegotiate this $1 a mile, I got to work with a company that's giving me percentages on the loads. Fuck getting paid by the miles, man. Like, it because you do a lot of sitting. Like now, I got here yesterday about 2 in the afternoon, and my load don't deliver until 6:30 today. See what I'm saying? I'm missing out on money, versus if I was getting a percentage of the load, it wouldn't even matter. I mean, it would matter, but it wouldn't hurt as bad. At least I would know. You know what I'm saying? I made that money, man. So I don't know. Trans Am, I don't think would be any more different. But because they own the insurance company, they take a lot more slack. They'll take guys with DUIs, accidents. A lot of companies take felonies, but they take felons too. So because they're open, recruitment requires less of a process. They pay low, and you don't have a trainer, which for me was my main thing. I didn't want to be on the truck with a trainer, because listen, I don't know everything out here, but everything I needed to know to get my load successfully to the next spot, I got it. I didn't need nobody I need to be in the truck with. And these joints small. two grown men to be up in them. And then I got a bunch of stuff that I accumulated. So imagine if you get on the training truck, he got a bunch of stuff he didn't accumulate. Man, that's a bunch of bull. So yeah, Trans Am is bullshit when it comes to them helping you. As long as you running and you don't have no issues and you don't need them for nothing, oh man, it's probably one of the best companies to work for. You hear me? Because they consistent on their loads, except if you go to Texas. So if you come into Trans Am, basically look at it as a learning experience on things that you're going to go through in the trucking industry and other trucking companies. You know what I mean? You're new to this. So, peace and love.